Hi, welcome to today's Daily Pattern. My name's Paul. I am totally rubbish at every sport I've ever tried. Tennis, football, cricket, ice skating, rugby, running. Actually, I wasn't that bad at archery, but that's not really a sport, is it? It's just darts for grown-ups. And darts definitely isn't a sport. Once I played rugby against a team from another school. Our school's D team against their D team. They weren't any good really, certainly no better than us, but they did beat us, and here's why. Their pitch was a foot thick in mud. Ours was pretty well manicured, but theirs was a nightmare. They won because it was their pitch. They were used to it, they knew every hollow, every puddle. We did our best, but we were fighting a losing battle right from the beginning. How often in life do we feel like we're playing on someone else's pitch? Like they're holding all the cards? Like they know their system and we don't? Like there's an unfair advantage? In today's passage from Acts 25, there are a few different players and a few different pitches, as it were. It seems like everyone's trying to make sure the match gets played on their pitch. Paul is imprisoned and there's going to be a court case. The Jewish leaders want the court case in Jerusalem because they have some power there, and actually they plan to have him killed on the way there. Festus, who's a new Roman governor, wants it in Caesarea, where he's in charge. There's only really one other place it could be. In Rome. That's where the emperor himself is in charge. That's his pitch. It must have been extremely worrying for Paul. To use the rugby metaphor, he doesn't even have a pitch. It seems like wherever the match is played, he's at a disadvantage and will lose. I've definitely felt like that at times. But what I admire about Paul in this passage is that even in the midst of this overwhelming situation, Paul is following the call of God on his life. So here's how that plays out. Paul knows that God is calling him to Rome. He's mentioned it already before in the book of Acts. And so whilst everything and everyone is against him, that's where he points himself. As a Roman citizen, he's permitted to ask for his case to be heard by the emperor, which is really risky because they're not normally known for their kindness in these situations. But Paul knows what God is asking, and so he pulls the only lever that he can. And that's what I love about Paul. Even when the odds are stacked against him, when his only choices are to play on everyone else's pitches, when God speaks, he follows. And so in our situations today, whatever it is that God's asked us to do, even if the situations are really tough, how can we follow God in those situations? Because when we play on God's team, he always wins in the end. See you next time.